Today we'll discuss Baba Vanga's prophecies concerning the mysterious August 2025. Greetings, seekers of truth and keepers of knowledge. Today we delve into the deepest mysteries that may already be unfolding before our eyes. We're talking about Baba Vanga's prophecies, which more than ever are gaining chilling relevance in the context of the mysterious August 2025. If you're ready to discover what lies behind the veil of the ordinary and are curious to glimpse beyond the horizon of events, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button right now. Because what we're about to discuss might change your perception of the world forever. The end, first in energy, then in mind, then in reality itself. The world will fall and truth will break into silence, a blackness not from the sun but from inside the world. These words, buried in notebooks for decades, were often dismissed as metaphors or distorted in translation. But now in August 2025, her predictions are acquiring chilling clarity. Something is happening, and it's not just geopolitics but the spiritual realm, social unrest. Bizarre atmospheric shifts, data failures, psychic spikes, and unexplained global tensions all are coalescing into a single pattern. And for those who are paying attention, this is exactly what Baba Vanga foresaw. What is Baba Vanga's most troubling prediction, especially from former Eastern Bloc nations? One document, partially leaked in the early 2000s, referenced the dark month of the eighth gate. Within it, she outlined a sequence: sudden loss of satellite signal in key areas, magnetic disturbances in the Earth's field, massive psychological shifts in collective behavior, a sharp divide between perception and truth. These may sound abstract, but 2025 has brought eerie fulfillment to them all. In July, multiple reports emerged of intermittent blackouts of geospatial and communication satellites in specific latitudes. Around the same time, NOAA reported unexpected solar activity, not flares, but low-frequency disturbances that altered the behavior of migratory birds, whales, and even GPS-guided systems. And now, as August begins, there's a perceptible unease across global populations, not from media hysteria, but from something deeper, a resonant fear, a tension in the human field. Why August? Why did Baba Vanga, like many other mystics, single it out? Because historically, August has been a pivot month, a strange time of endings, masked as calm. World War I effectively ignited in August 1914. The Hiroshima bomb was dropped on August 6, 1945. The collapse of the Soviet Union began accelerating with failed coups and panic in August 1991. The global financial crisis of 2007-2008 saw its crucial tipping point in August. The chaotic fall of Kabul happened in mid-August. Time and again, August emerges not with fire but with shadows. Systems breaking down not with noise but confusion. And that's precisely what Baba Vanga described. It will not be death by bomb but by blindness. Laters will speak but none will hear. Truth will sleep for a season. What is the difference between these phenomena? The report, which received little mainstream coverage, noted that many of these individuals were describing temporal confusion, emotional disassociation, and feeling like the air has changed. Could this be linked to geomagnetic interaction with the human brain, a theory long dismissed, yet now aligning precisely with Baba Vanga's warning? The black month turns people inward, the mind spins, but the eyes no longer see. In August 2025, 3 nations have already suffered from unexplained infrastructure disruptions that experts are unwilling to fully explain. The shutdown of air traffic control in parts of Southeast Asia, caused, they say, by unexpected sensor interference. A massive banking data lag across parts of South America, lasting just minutes but impacting billions of dollars in transactions. A short-lived but globally distributed internet routing error affecting communication satellites. These were officially categorized as technical glitches. But off the record, cyber analysts in Europe and Asia have started whispering about a larger pattern, a convergence of electromagnetic anomalies affecting hardware, logic systems, and possibly even human cognition. Now ask yourself, is this just coincidence, or is the Black August vanguard described unfolding as a slow, silent wave touching machines' minds? What is the meaning of this word? She asked. What is the meaning of this word? We echo. The United Nations is a country that is not only. This phrase seems to echo in fragments of Vanga's lesser-known notes. She warned of a month when air will taste like iron and light will carry sorrow. While poetic, these phrases now mirror a real condition affecting certain regions. The rise of aerosols and particulates from wildfires altering the very texture of daylight. In some European valleys and Southeast Asian plains, residents have reported a strange phenomenon. The sky was clear, the sky shows you fire, but you hear no thunder. That is when the silence begins, she said. What does that silence mean? In the spiritual sense, silence often refers to suppression of voices of truth, of resistance, and look around. This August has seen a disturbing rise in censorship, blackout zones during military operations, and internet outages that are alarmingly coordinated. We are witnessing the sky's omens manifesting exactly as Vanga warned. not with fanfare but with a hush that grows louder every day. Here's something chilling. Baba Vanga once reportedly said, "Scientific research has noted a sudden acceleration in the movement of the magnetic north towards Siberia." This might sound like science fiction, but it's verified and measurable. The practical implications: GPS systems misaligning, birds and sea animals migrating to the wrong locations, and ultimately a potential reversal of the magnetic north towards Siberia. Earth's magnetic poles, something that's happened before in our planet's history. Combine this with increasing reports of geopolitical influence moving from west to east, and you begin to see that Baba Vanga's warning may have described a world where the literal and metaphorical compass points are no longer where we thought they were. If the map is reversing, what else will follow? It started small. Because of the silence, that silence appears again. And once more, we're seeing the eerie fulfillment of a statement no one could properly explain decades ago. This August, we've seen more intentional disruptions than natural ones. And as cyber attacks grow more sophisticated, with AI-driven systems masking their trails, governments are reluctant to admit how much of it they've lost control over. What is the meaning of this? August has become a pressure point in history again and again. Or was Baba Vanga truly seeing a pattern unfold long before we had the data to understand it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Just a subtle change in how people behave, how systems respond, how governments tighten their grip. It was about invisible domination. Think about how effortlessly control has become internalized. People now censor themselves, avoid forbidden words online, limit their curiosity, and trust the screen more than their neighbor. If Vanga's words carry truth, then August isn't only about what breaks, it's about what quietly rearranges, and many won't even know it's happening. Weather patterns are a bit different. Remember, she warned of a month when air will taste like iron and light will carry sorrow. Recent revelations about central banks losing control over inflationary cycles, the revaluation of gold by nations quietly preparing for a new monetary order, and economic deals inked in secret that bypass traditional institutions like the IMF or the World Bank. What if Black August in part signals the month when we realize the financial order we assumed was permanent is beginning to fracture beneath us? In places like Argentina, Lebanon, and parts of Southeast Asia, currency collapses have already occurred, but Vanga's prophecy wasn't limited to these. She said, even the proudest towers will find their coin turned to dust. A warning or a promise of a financial apocalypse still to come. In her final years, Vanga reportedly whispered of a sleeping nation that would rise during Black August. This nation, she said, would not rise with armies but with a mirror, a cryptic message, but one that some interpreters link to a digital nation, a cyber entity or movement that reflects back the hypocrisy of global powers. Others believe it refers to an actual state, perhaps a long-dormant country, or people whose cause has been suppressed, finally awakening through public sympathy and a series of global embarrassments that tip international favor. Could it be Palestine or Kurdistan, or perhaps a newer, stranger entity born from decentralization and blockchain-based citizenship? Black August, seers seem to suggest, would be the point where something unrecognized begins to gain legitimacy. The Earth, this eerie phrase now echoes in light of sudden volcanic awakenings and undersea tremors recorded in recent months. Subduction zones along the Pacific Rim, dormant for decades, are now restless. Unusual readings in the crust near the Indian Ocean and Mediterranean suggest something is moving deep beneath. Scientists remain cautious, but Baba Vanga wasn't one for caution. Could tectonic activity in Black August 2025 be the prelude to something more profound than an earthquake? Could it reshape borders or even redraw coastlines? Forgetting, she said there would come a moment when people no longer remember what they once knew, not through force but fog. While this might sound metaphorical, psychological researchers have recently noted a strange uptick in reports of brain fog, dissociation, and inexplicable memory loss, especially among younger generations. Coupled with increasing EMF exposure, screen-induced overstimulation, and AI-curated content loops, many now worry that we're heading into an age of passive amnesia. If Vanga foresaw a month where memory itself would fracture, it may not be about the past alone, but the inability to envision the future. In Black August, perhaps it's not the loss of knowledge that matters most, but the loss of the capacity to know. I want to turn to you, our community of seekers, critical thinkers, and pattern observers here at the Interconnected Zone. You've heard what the legends, the climate, the technology, the economy, and the silence itself seem to be telling us about Black August. So let me ask you, do you believe Baba Vanga truly foresaw this month of unraveling? Are we already in the storm? What is this? If you made it this far, you already sense that this is no ordinary month, and this is no ordinary channel. If the mysteries of August 2025 and the prophecies of Baba Vanga have stirred something in you, don't let the moment fade. Hit that like button before it gets swallowed by the sun, by the shadows, and exploring the edge of the unknown. Until next time, stay aware, stay connected, and don't look away from the signs.